Hi, I'm Kimberly Bankston Lee, and I am a local realtor with Guide Real Estate. Today, I am going to give you a workshop on buying a second home because not everybody out there is buying a second home. Why? One, because interest rates are really great. Two, people are letting go of their inventory in the second home market. And three, if you are a current homeowner and you have equity in your home, now is the time to take it out and maybe pay cash for a second home or put a nice down payment on a second home. So let's get into it. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a lot of talk lately about short-term rentals. Now, this could be something like an accessory dwelling unit, which is an ADU that you see a lot of people putting, like maybe on top of their garage, or if their lot is big enough, maybe they'll put a tiny home, or even some people will rent out a room in their home, but it really leverages um, your investment and allows you to pay for part of your investment, um, pay off the mortgage with it. So I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. So for today's discussion, we're going to go over what is a short-term rental property, goals of owning a short-term rental, doing your research, marketing and booking, managing and maintenance, the real estate market around the US, and how I can help. So what is a short-term rental property? Of course, what I just mentioned, it could be an ADU, like you see in the middle picture. It could be a condo, like the top picture is a condo that we own in the Vegas area. Actually, it's in the city of Henderson, which is about 20 minutes outside of Vegas. Um, and then down on the bottom picture, this could be like a little home or a villa that you own in Florida or the Caribbean or Mexico. Usually these are furnished and they're self-contained. So you'll have all your furniture, all your kitchenware, all your bathroom gear, including linens available. A short-term dwelling is considered anything that you rent shorter than 6 months. And there's actually, the IRS actually defines short-term rentals, and there's different laws that apply to short-term rentals than do longer-term rentals. In a short-term rental, your renters are guests versus tenants. And like I mentioned, there are rules and laws that apply to both or neither. And for a lot of people, a short-term rental is an alternative to a hotel, like if you're going to go on vacation, or like a lot of people who are moving from different cities will rent a short-term rental for, excuse me, maybe a month or two. For an equivalent amount. Something else is future resale, so gains or appreciation over time. So just like your main home will appreciate, your second home or your short-term rental may also appreciate. On average, in the US, homes appreciate about 3% per year, and that's over the last 40 years. Actually, in the last year, real estate has appreciated double that amount. Here in Sacramento, real estate has appreciated in the last year of 18%. So let's say that you buy a home that has accessory dwelling unit and you rent out 2 weeks out of the month. Now you've paid a significant portion of your rent and you have the appreciation of the property. The other benefit are tax benefits. You might be able to write off some of the expenses because now this is an investment property. You might be able to write off things like the interest on your mortgage payment. You can write off things like supplies and repairs. If you pay a property management fee, you can write off your advertising, You can write off part of your trips if you need to go, if your short-term rental is out of the area and you need to go do maintenance on it. So there's all kinds of tax benefits available. So basically, when you're looking at a short-term rental or investment, you have to determine what are your goals. Are they to have a passive income? So meaning that you'll have an income every month. Are you looking for growth potential, like in the equity? Are you looking for a place that maybe you'll retire to? You know, maybe you've worked all your career in Sacramento and you want to move to Nevada, because Nevada has lower tax base or lower cost of living. Or maybe you want a vacation home. Maybe you have family and you want to take a vacation every year, in Florida for a month, and you want to buy a small home or a condo there. And then the other times when you're not using it for your family's use, you can rent it out in a short-term vacation rental pool. One of the steps that you'll need to take is do your research. You'll want to identify where to purchase. So you need to consider things like local laws. Like, for example, City of Sacramento is allowing short-term vacation, not short-term vacation rentals, short-term rentals in accessory dwelling units or out of a home in your room. And that provides more housing because we're in a housing shortage. So maybe that will make up some of the housing. Places like Las Vegas have rules for short-term rentals where you have to be living in the short-term rental and rent out a home, or sorry, rent out a room in that home. But other cities in Nevada, like Henderson, you can have a short-term vacation rental. So you just have to do your homework and look to see what the local laws are. A lot of places like Florida and Hawaii that have had short-term rentals for a long time, um, either have these laws in place or they don't have strict laws like some other places. You'll also want to look at the rental income potential in the locale. You can go on Airbnb or TripAdvisor or Expedia or Vrbo and take a look at what others are renting for, like a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 2-bedroom, 2 bath, a 3-bedroom home, or what have you. And then also determining how will you use the property, if at all, or your family will use it. You can also connect with a local realtor in those areas to get an idea of what the market is doing and what vacation homes are doing. And yes, I have referrals in several other markets inside California and outside California as well. You'll want to secure your financing because financing could be a little bit different if you're going to finance it at all. For a short-term rental, interest rates might be slightly higher, and you might need to put more down, like 10%. And you want to educate yourself. You can take a course like a short-term rental certification program like I did, and some community colleges offer that. I actually took that in Las Vegas. You'll want to develop a plan for management, marketing, and reservations of your short-term rental. Will you hire a property manager or management company, or will you manage it yourself? How will you market the property? Will you have your own website? Will you use social media? Will you place ads? Will you use Airbnb or VRBO or Expedia? And mind you, all of these you pay a fee to list your property on these. And then there's also reservation systems that come with these that are very helpful. How will you handle problems? If you're going to manage it yourself, you might want a local contact or you might want a property management company. And yes, of course, there's going to be fees for that. The image on the left is just an example of one of our properties, and this kind of shows you the reservation. So this is a reservation system in Airbnb. Maintenance. You will have maintenance needed, and probably more often than you think. You're going to be painting, you're going to be replacing sheets, you're going to be replacing appliances, you're going to be fixing ACs much more often than you would on your own home, because Frankly, a lot of people who rent don't really care. It's not their home, so they're not going to take care of it as your home. But you build this in as part of your plan to maintain your home. And things like linens, you'll have to replace, more often, probably once every 2 months or so. And you want to make sure that you're updating your property to make sure that it's marketable. And you'll want to have a contingency plan in place, like for COVID. For example, no one could have foreseen what would happen in short-term rentals and vacation homes during COVID. Our Maui property, we didn't have anybody in it for 6 months. So you want to make sure that you have 6 months worth of funds to be able to cover any expenses that you have when you can't rent it out. The other thing is you want to look at the U.S. real estate market as far as short-term rentals. As I mentioned, you can have them here in Sacramento, in Vegas, in Phoenix, and in South Florida. And I have people that I can refer you in all of these areas. And of course, I'm here in Sacramento.
Don't be shy,
Here's an example of
'cause
our
I think
short-term
you're beautiful.
rental
Let
in
you forget it.
Henderson, just outside of Vegas.
And the wolves at your door, they won't bother you anymore.
This is a video that I did
Wolves at
and
your
paid
door
for
ain't gonna bother
paid ads on Facebook,
Don't be
YouTube, and
late,
Instagram.
but I'll wait. Life won't bring you down too far.
Thank you for joining me in today's workshop on second homes. If you have questions about purchasing a second home, or how to take advantage of the equity in your home, or even how to buy your first home, please give me a call, text, reach out to me. I would be happy to help you. Thank you for joining me today, and see you next time. Bye-bye. So I'm sure you probably have lots of questions. My name again is Kimberly Bankston Lee. I would be happy to help you with any questions that you might have on short-term or vacation rentals, or even if you're looking to sell or buy here in Sacramento. You can call or text me at 916-265-4331. You can email me at kimberlysellssac@gmail.com. I thank you very much, and let's start your investment journey.